What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously. Once again, I am back for my Week 8 college football predictions. Now, Week 7 is in the books after a wild and crazy Week 7. We are now into Week 8 of the college football season. Now, our record finishing up that crazy Week 7, we went 6-4. So, our overall record through 7 weeks of the college football season, we are 50-20. So, to say that last week's predictions were crazy, I mean, it was nuts. Very surprising upsets we got. So we're on a 7-week winning streak. So hopefully in this video I will make it 8 weeks. Hopefully. Now, before I begin, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching all the videos up until this point. I do want to thank you guys for watching last week's college football predictions on the channel. You guys blew it up as always with over 640 plus views on the channel. You guys representing your teams and your predictions in the comment section with over 83 comments. I saw some great fans like Florida Gator fans, Miami Hurricanes fans, Texas Longhorn fans. Again, thank you guys so very much for supporting your team in the comment section and putting up your picks. And you guys super kicked that like button 12 times. So again, thank you guys so very much for watching, supporting the channel with your watching the video, supporting it with your super kicking that subscribe button, and representing your predictions and your teams in the comment section. Hopefully, we will see you guys in this video as well. Now, if you have not checked out my other video that I put up, which is the next Raw pay-per-view, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, definitely go check that out. There will be only 3 videos up on the channel today. So hopefully you guys will watch all 3 videos. Now, we are at 200 plus subscribers on the channel, so I do want to thank you guys so very much for supporting the channel. To new subscribers who just super kicked that subscribe button, welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. It is absolutely great to have you guys here. And to my longtime subscribers, thank you guys for sticking around, always supporting it, and always killing. Now, this is the first time watching my channel as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video. Boy, you picked a good one if you're a college football fan like myself. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I am JT Dangerously, and welcome to the club, because this club is just to whoop whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these Week 8 college football predictions. Now, I'm going to start off with the first matchup. It is an ACC battle featuring the Louisville Cardinals heading to Tallahassee to face the Florida State Seminoles. Now, the Louisville Cardinals are coming off a big win on Saturday with the help of their Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson. They're coming in 3-3. Of course, being in the ACC Atlantic with teams like Clemson, who lost in Week 7, Boston College, who got a big win on Saturday, NC State, who also got a big win on Saturday. They're definitely looking to get back on top of the ACC Atlantic with a big win. Then on the other side, you have the Florida State Seminoles, who are coming off a big comeback win over Duke on Saturday. They looked good. Again, this team is without DeAndre Francois. Jimbo Fisher's got his rookie quarterback in, and they're looking to get back on track and even their record at 3-3. So coming from me in this ACC Atlantic battle, man, this one's tough. Because Louisville seems like it's a one-man team with Lamar Jackson, and that's it. And they're dealing with this whole Louisville scandal with Rick Pitino leaving, and they still have not got to the Louisville football team. So, coming from me, I'm going to take the Louisville Cardinals to defeat the Florida State Seminoles. And now the next matchup, a Big 12 battle, featuring the number 10th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys heading to Austin to face the Texas Longhorns. Now, the Oklahoma State Cowboys are coming off a big win on Saturday. They're coming in 5-1 they defeated Baylor, which anybody can beat Baylor this season. They're coming in 5-1. Mason Rudolph is having a great year. Mike Gundy, with his mullet and all, getting it done at Stillwater for sure, and trying to catch up to the TCU Horned Frogs in the Big 12 Conference. And then on the other side, the Texas Longhorns are coming off a very tough loss to, of course, my Oklahoma Sooners in the Red River Showdown on Saturday. They looked good. They gave us a fight. And coming from me as an Oklahoma Sooner fan, Texas nearly beat us. And I will have to admit, they were a great team on that Saturday. But once again, Sooners got it done. But the Longhorns, I got some respect for you for giving us a fight this year in the Red River Showdown. So coming from me in this Big 12 battle, man, this one's really tough. It's in Austin. It's a huge Big 12 conference game. I'm going to go with Mason Rudolph and the number 10th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys to defeat the Texas Longhorns. And now the next matchup, another Big 12 conference game featuring the number 9th ranked and my favorite team, the Oklahoma Sooners, heading to Kansas State to face the Kansas State Wildcats. Now the Oklahoma Sooners are coming off a huge gritty game, gritty win over the Texas Longhorns in the Red River Shootout. Of course, Baker Mayfield had a great game after getting hurt in that game, coming back and getting the Oklahoma Sooners a big win in this Red River Showdown. Now, this Sooners team is really good. Again, there's some stiff competition in the Big 12 Conference this year, especially with TCU and West Virginia and Kansas State and Oklahoma State. So OU winning the Big 12 is going to be very, very interesting to see if they could. With Lincoln Riley, his first year as coach since Bob Stoops left. So this Oklahoma team is looking really good at the number 9 position in the top 25. Then on the other side, you have the Kansas State Wildcats, who are coming in 3-3. Again, this team is very unknown. They are a really good team. They've had some great players here in the past, but again, they're coming in 3-3. They with teams like West Virginia, Texas Tech, TCU, Texas, OU, and Oklahoma State, I feel like Kansas State is out of this race for the Big 12 championship. So coming from me in this Big 12 conference matchup. Oh, man, this one's tough. I'm going to take the number 9th ranked and my Oklahoma Sooners to defeat the Kansas State Wildcats. Boomer Sooner! And now the next matchup, we are going to the SEC, where we're going to see the Kentucky Wildcats head to Starksville to face the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Now, this is the 44th meeting between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Mississippi State Bulldogs, with the Bulldogs leading the all-time series 22-21. Now, Mississippi State has won the last seven meetings against Kentucky, and Kentucky's looking to win for the first time in this series since 2008. Now, starting off with the Kentucky Wildcats, are coming in 5-1, being in the dreaded SEC East Division with teams like Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, if they're there anymore, after last week. But Kentucky is looking good this season. They were one win away from being bowl eligible, and they're looking to get back on track. And they got a big win on Saturday. Then on the other side, the Mississippi State Bulldogs are coming in 4-2, being in the dreaded SEC West Division with teams like Bama, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, and Arkansas. They're looking to come in at home. It's going to be loud. You know that cowbell is going to be ringing in Starksville, because when it comes to Starksville, it's all about more cowbell. So coming from me in this 44th meeting between these two, I'm going to take, man, this one's really tough. I'm going to take the Mississippi State Bulldogs to defeat the Kentucky Wildcats. And now the next matchup, it is for the Jewel Shillelagh, featuring the number 11th ranked USC Trojans heading to South Bend to face the number 13th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now, this is the 89th meeting between USC and Notre Dame, with Notre Dame leading the all-time series 46-36-5. Now, USC won the last meeting last year, and Notre Dame is looking to win in this series for the first time in 2 years. So, starting off with the number 11th ranked USC Trojans, they're coming off a big win over at Pac-12 North rival, the Utah Utes. In overtime, they looked good. Sam Darnold definitely got them back on track, but the Pac-12 definitely suffered after last week's upset. So we definitely may not see them in the college football playoff this year because of those big upsets we had last week. Then on the other side, you have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who's coming in 5-1. Of course, their lone loss was that 1-point loss to the Georgia Bulldogs. But they have been winning ever since then. Now, again, when we talked about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish a few weeks ago against Michigan State, again, I don't have hate for him, but I just do not like Brian Kelly as a coach. But ever since that Georgia game, they have definitely stepped up. I mean, they haven't lost a game since that Georgia game. They've been dominant. They're number 13th ranked in the top 25, so they're looking to get a huge win. Now, this is the game this is one of those games Notre Dame has to win because it's a big-time game. The Georgia game was a big-time game. This is another big-time game for Notre Dame. So it's either put up or shut up. So coming from me in the battle for the Jewel Shillelagh, man, this one's tough because USC's 6-1. Oh, man. I'm going to take the number 13th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish to defeat the number 11th ranked USC Trojans. And now the next matchup, which this game will be at College Game Day this Saturday morning. It is the number 19th ranked Michigan Wolverines heading to Happy Valley to face the now number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. Now the Michigan Wolverines are coming off a very tough win on the road at Indiana in overtime. They could have lost that game, and they're definitely looking to get a huge upset in this Big Ten battle. Of course, Jim Harbaugh, I don't think he's even beaten Penn State since he's been there. So this is a huge opportunity for Jim Harbaugh to shut out the doubters that said that he can't win those Big Ten matchup games. Then on the other side, you have the number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, who are coming off a bye. They're now number 2 in the nation thanks to Clemson's loss to Syracuse. You got the Heisman Trophy definitely Heisman Trophy finalist in Saquon Barkley, who can do it all with the ball: run, pass, run, throw, do anything with the ball. You got Deshaun McSorley at quarterback. You got James Franklin at coach. This Penn State team is really damn good, and Penn State's got a real tough schedule after this with Ohio State still and Michigan State. So coming from me in this Big Ten matchup, that definitely is going to be a matchup to see who will win the Big Ten East this year. I'm hoping Lee Corso will agree with me on this pick. So I'm going to take the number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions to defeat the number 19th ranked Michigan Wolverines. We are Penn State. And now the next matchup, another Big 12 matchup featuring the Iowa State Cyclones heading to Lubbock, Texas to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now the Iowa State Cyclones are coming in 4-2 in the Big 12 conference this year, with teams like Baylor, Texas, Texas Tech, TCU, West Virginia, and Kansas State. Iowa State has been the very surprising team. Of course, this is the team that knocked off my Oklahoma Sooners in week 6. So this Iowa State Cyclones team is very dangerous when it matters most. And then on the other side, you have the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who, of course, lost to the West Virginia Mountaineers on last week. Again, they were up 35-17, and they blew that lead and lost that game. So I have to give a lot of credit to the West Virginia Mountaineers for coming all the way back and winning that game. Now, when it comes to handsome boy Cliff Kingsbury, their coach, this was the game they should have never lost, and they blew a 35-17 lead. That's definitely gonna be the real reason that he's gonna get canned in Lubbock for sure, because you just do not blow a 35-17 lead. You just don't, handsome man Cliff Kingsbury, the coach of Texas Tech. So coming from me in this Big 12 battle, and this one's a really tough one, because Texas Tech has failed me in the past already. So, man, this one's tough. Coming from me, I'm going to take the Iowa State Cyclones to defeat the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And now the next matchup, an American Athletic Conference rivalry game featuring the number 20th ranked Central Florida Knights heading to Annapolis to face the Midshipmen of Navy. Now, the UCF Knights are coming off another big win. They're 5-0. They're ranked number 20th in the top 25. Of course, with teams in their division like Cincy, Temple, East Carolina, and UConn, I think they're going to definitely win the East Division in the American Athletic Conference. Again, like I've said, this team had Blake Bortles. They were a fantastic team when he was quarterbacking, so they're in good hands for sure in the American Athletic East Conference. Then on the other side, you have the Navy Midshipmen, who are coming off a tough loss to Memphis last week. Again, that was a tough, they could have had that game, but they lost by 3 points, so they are now unranked. The Midshipmen definitely need a bounce back after losing to Memphis, and they're being at home in Annapolis, Maryland. This could be a really good game, again, being in the American Athletic West Division with teams like SMU, Houston, Tulsa, and Tulane. So coming from me in this American Athletic Conference matchup, man, this one's tough. UCF hasn't failed me this season when I picked them, and Navy lost last week to Memphis. So coming from me, man, this one's really tough. I'm going to take the number 20th ranked UCF Knights to defeat the Midshipmen of Navy. And now the next matchup. The next two matches are from the Mountain West Conference. Starting off with the Wyoming Cowboys heading to the Smurf turf to face my second favorite team in college football, the Boise State Broncos. Now the Wyoming Mustangs are coming in 4-2 this season. Of course, with their great quarterback, I think it was Josh Allen, everybody's favorite quarterback to look out for in the NFL draft next season. They're looking to get another big win in the Mountain West Conference. Then on the other side, you have my Boise State Broncos, who are coming off a big win last week on the road, knocking off the then undefeated San Diego State Aztecs. So again, I wish I picked them, but again, I went with my gut. This time I'm not. Now, this Boise State team is good, being in the same division with Air Force, Colorado State, New Mexico, and Utah State. I think Boise State has had a great year this year without, of course, Doug Peterson, the man who got Boise State to where they are today. And they're coming in also at 4-2. So coming from me in this Mountain West Conference matchup, Josh Allen, he's a great quarterback, but you're playing on Smurf turf, and you know what that means. It's going to be a rough day for you. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm taking my Boise State Broncos to defeat the Wyoming Cowboys. And now the final matchup of Week 8. It is another Mountain West showdown featuring the Fresno State Bulldogs heading to Qualcomm to face the San Diego State Aztecs. Now, this is my first time talking about where I live, the Fresno, California, home of the Fresno State Bulldogs. First time I'm talking about them this season. This is definitely a interesting matchup. This team is coming in 4-2 with a new coach, Jed Tedford, the former Cal coach. Now, coming from me living in California all my life, this town lives and dies by their Fresno State Bulldogs. From the times of Pat Hill coaching this team with David and Derek Carr quarterbacking to when they had their rough year with Tim DeRuyter, and now going with Jed Tedford. Now, again, they start off always with top-ranked teams, and they always get smacked around. Of course, they lost to Alabama and Nebraska this season, but they're coming in after a huge win at home against New Mexico in a shutout. So they're coming in with some confidence and a chance to knock off a top team in the Mountain West Conference. Then on the other side, you have the San Diego State Aztecs, who are coming off a huge loss to my Boise State Broncos on Saturday, knocking them out of the top 25 last week. So they're coming in pissed. They're coming in pissed that they could not beat Boise State last week, and they're coming in to just put an ass-kicking on the Fresno State Bulldogs. Of course, with Rashad Penny at running back, I still think they're still one of those teams that's going to make the New Year's Six for those out-of-conference teams. San Diego State definitely, I still think, can get to one of those big-time games. So coming from me in this Mountain West showdown and the last pick of my Week 8 predictions, man, this one's tough because it's Fresno. It's where I live. Man, this one's really tough. I'm gonna take, and don't hate me, Fresno, for doing this, I am taking the San Diego State Aztecs to defeat the Fresno State Bulldogs. And those are my Week 8 college football predictions. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy these college football predictions this week. Comment below, who do you have winning all of these matchups in Week 8? As always, represent your team in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to put your picks up for who you have winning this week, by all means, it is always welcome on this channel. Let's have a conversation about them. Of course, I am always on to see your comment, thumbs up it, and of course, reply right back to you, because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching. And of course, before you go, you can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button, become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. And I will see you guys later this evening for my Week 7 NFL predictions. Later days and peace.